Good morning to you on Facebook. Good morning to you on Instagram. Can you believe it is Monday? Again, it's Monday, the 22nd of July. My name is Tanja. I specialize in leadership and mindset coaching, particularly for real estate leaders and teams that really want to grow themselves, their people, and their business in the least amount of time. Good morning, Kate. How are you, my love? How was your walk this morning? Any kangaroos? You're always up at the crack of dawn. It's a bit dark in here this morning. How was the walk? Thanks for sending me your selfie. Good morning to you on Facebook. This is going to be a really interactive session now. Have you ever heard yourself say, hi, Mindfulness Muse, great to have you here. Have you ever heard yourself say, I really need more time. I wish I had more time. I did a poll on Insta yesterday, and I think 83% of people said they say that they really want more time. Very crisp, heavy frosts, yes, unstoppable. Well done. So you've thought, sometimes you'd like more time or you need more time to do the things that matter to you, and that's what this whole session is dedicated to. This is a very, very simple yet powerful session to help you get access to up to 90% more time. Just imagine what you could do with 90% more time. Now, if you're not driving, I would love you to get a pen and paper or some kind of book to have handy to do the exercise with me. So if you're at home or if you're in the office and you don't have it with you, I'll give you a couple of minutes just to go and get a pen and paper so you can actually do this exercise. G'day, Karen. Great to have you here too, my love. If you guys are on Facebook, can you type in, and even on Insta, type in live if you're watching this live, or type in the record. Morning, Brendan. Great to see you here, my friend. So get pen and paper ready. We're about to start this process. Hey, Joe Black, great to have you here. The comments aren't coming yet. Sorry, Facebook, it's get here they come. Karen George is on. Good morning. Great to have you here. Joe and Taylor. Karen, have you got pen and paper handy? Greg's here. Good on you, Greg. Joanna's here. Great to have you here too, Joanna. Oh, how was your weekend, everyone? I did something really awesome yesterday. I went and did a Native American sweat lodge last night, which was unbelievable. Have you ever done a sweat lodge? If so, what was your experience like? If you're here in Melbourne, I can highly recommend Sotum's Sweat Lodge down at Ceres in the Ceres Nursery and Collingwood Children's Farm. It's just, actually, no, not the Collingwood Children's Farm, Ceres down in Collingwood. Or Brunswick East. It's amazing. Great to have you here. Okay, if you've got pen and paper, Karen's ready with pen and paper. All right, so consider, let's just get stuck straight into this. There are two places you can spend your time, right? And those two places are, we can think a lot about our concerns. Now, I want you to just spend a few minutes with me here and even just type in on Instagram or on Morning Linda or on Facebook, what are the things that are outside of your control that you're concerned about, particularly if you're in real estate? So just type them in on Instagram or on Facebook. What are the things that you're concerned about that are really out of your control? And I'll give you a couple of tips. You've got the economy, politics, competition, disruption, like the $7.6 billion being spent on, prop tech investment, property technology, right, to make things more efficient, but it is disrupting the industry. Competition, commission, I know banks have, had tightened up lending. We would have been concerned about the election and the way negative gearing went, but what are your concerns? Letting people down. Okay, letting people down. That's a good one, Linda, something that you're concerned about, but that is something you can absolutely influence. So for the purpose of this exercise, I'd like you to get that there are two places we can spend our time and our thoughts. We can spend it in our concerns, or we can spend it in our influence. And I do this exercise a lot with both individuals and groups during training sessions, and here's what is fascinating. You're going to see today where most people spend their time, whether it 10 or 90% of their time in areas they can't control, they can't influence, which means it's a big waste of time. And g'day, Helen, great to have you here too, my love. So what are the things that you can't control that take up your time? Here's what I need to say. politics, the market, stock, competition, artificial intelligence, disruption, all of these things. Does that make sense? Have any of these things crossed your mind? Have any of these things been a concern for you? And if you've got your pen and paper handy, do your own mind map. Write down what are the things that are actually concerning you that are outside of your control. Hey, Pete. Oh, what have we got? Paul, great to see you here, Paul. Paul, where are you tuning in from? So what are the things that are concerning you? If you've got pen and paper handy, do a little mind map for yourself. Is it the economy? Is it vendors? Is it buyers calling? What else have we got? Oh, Private investment, 6.6 billion. Now, sometimes, depending on your level of influence, you may or may not be concerned about these things. Okay. Rain and Horn in Concord. Great to have you here, Paul. Good morning and happy Monday. So we're unpacking what are the things that are your concerns. Now, we have 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. 90% of those thoughts are the same regurgitated thoughts as yesterday, and 85% of them are negative. And here's what I know as a peak performance coach. A lot of our thinking are in areas of concern that we have no influence over. Does that make sense? Just type in yes if this makes sense. Yes, this makes sense. So when you're concerned and thinking and worried and bitching and talking and whinging and moaning potentially about things that are outside of your control, like the weather, competition, disruption, artificial intelligence, vendors calling, banks tightening, lending. Before the election, we were concerned about impacts of negative. If you are concerned about these things, it is going to take up a lot of time, energy, and attention. So mind map all the things. If you do it during this live, or do it at a recording, if you watch the record, or do it in your own time, it's phenomenal when you actually get to see how much time you're spending on the things that you can't control. Hey, Nadine, great to have you here. Where are you joining from, Nadine? Let us know where you're tuning in from. Karen George is yes. Linda is yes. This is a real game changer, this piece. Like I literally did this exercise with 90 people at a property management conference in Marysville, thanks to Hayley Mitchell and Mitchell PT last Thursday. And when we added up all the hours that 90 people were spending in areas of that they can't influence, it added up to 2,580 hours, which was an average of 3 hours a day per 90 people. That is a lot of time. Think about what you could be doing with that time. G'day, Debbie, and good morning. Great to have you here. So if you've joined, we're doing a very simple and powerful exercise to help you get up to 90% more time back. Now, here's what to do. Mind map, as I said, the areas where you're thinking, stressing, worrying, concerned, talking about that you cannot control. She's a Ballarat. Saw you at the conference in Marysville. Hey, Nadine, you know you were there. We did this exercise, didn't we, love? Holly Burns joined in too. How powerful was this exercise, Nadine, when we all added up how many hours we waste? Now, once you've done that, what I'd love you to do, if you do have your pen and paper, and I know Karen George has, I want you to just sit with how many hours a day would you spend thinking, worrying, talking about these things that you can't control. Just how many hours? Is it 1? Is it 2? How many hours? Just have a guess. And write that down on your piece of paper. And then I want you to write that down by, to multiply that by the 5 or 7. So you get how many hours a week you are spending in areas that you cannot influence. And then, just out of interest's sake, once you get your weekly figure, multiply that by 48, right? Let's imagine that you have 4 weeks off a year. Multiply that by 48 to see how many hours per year you're really wasting that you could reinvest back into your health, into your friends and family, into your business, into anywhere at all. Good morning, Kim. Great to have you here, my love. Nadine, it was a real eye-opener. Have you noticed, Nadine, since doing, I'm sorry if it's Nadine or Nadine, I don't know how you pronounce it. So I'll say Nadine and give me the thumbs up. If it's Nadine, I'm sorry if I don't get a thumbs up, I know it's Nadine. Nadine, have you noticed that you're more mindful of your thinking since doing exercise? Have you noticed Hey, Jim, good morning, Jim. Great to have you here. We are unpacking where we spend our time. Now, how many, if for those that are doing the exercise live here with me, how many hours are you spending a day, a week, and if you've calculated over 48 weeks, how many hours? Just type it in. I'm really keen to hear. Good morning, Lloyd Hillard. Great to have you here. So we're unpacking where we spend our time. Hello, who have we got here? Kylie Charlton, good morning. Great to see you here as well. For those that are doing the exercise, how many hours per day, per week, or per year have you added up that you're spending in your circle of concern that you can't actually do anything about? Karen George, have you done it? Have you added it up? I'm curious. All right, so once you add up the figure, who have we got here? Simon, I think it's Simon. It's a beautiful Greek name, I think. So if that's you, Athena, is that you? Athena, give me a thumbs up if that's you. So once you've added up your hours, then we want to shift over to having an awareness. Now, the group that I did this training with on Thursday had an average of, 3 hours per week. Multiply that by, 48 weeks and you'll get your figure. And where can you reinvest that time? Then what I want you to do with the next circle is just write down what are the things that you can influence. So, what did someone write before? Letting people down. Linda wrote down letting people down. You can and can't influence this, Linda. You can work with the best intentions. You can work with the greatest level of consciousness you have at the time. And depending on other people's perception and their funk and where they're at and their expectations of you, others in the world, you may or may not let them down. Now, you are definitely able to influence that, because one of the things, Linda, you and everybody else, all of us can do is we can see congruency or check expectations. So if you feel or you're worried about letting people down, check in. What do they expect from you? And is it something that you can commit to? That's one of the best ways to ensure that you don't let people down, because one of the reasons we get upset, there's 3 main reasons we get upset. We have unmet expectations, we have withheld communication, and interrupted intentions. We're going for something and something interrupts us. So if you're worried about letting people down, you can seek clarity of expectations up front. And that's a really great way to influence that outcome, Linda. So I hope that helps you. Now, what are the things that you can control? Do me a favor, type some in. Type them in on Instagram and type them in on Facebook. And let me give you a hand. You can, in real estate, you can influence your prospecting, your client experience, your marketing, your vision, your values, your strategies. You can influence your energy, social media. You can influence your health, your communication, your leadership, like your recruitment, your productivity, your training. Like there's so much that you can influence. But here's what I know as a coach. Too many of us are unconsciously wasting hours a day and a week and definitely a year thinking, stressing, worrying, bitching, moaning and groaning about the things that we cannot influence. And it gives us great reasons why we don't have results. Does that make sense? The best thing that you can do is actually get some awareness around, where is my thinking going? Where is my energy going? And is it in areas I can influence or not? Like number one, and if it's not, work out how many hours and then actually take responsibility for it and start to shift your focus on all these things that you can influence. You can influence your standards. Let's talk about the 3 steps for success. You can influence your vision, your values, your strategic plan to grow your business. You can influence whether all you're working on are shoulds or musts. You can define your musts. Number 2, you can influence your strategies, your daily rituals, your weekly actions, your monthly musts, your quarterly reviews, your yearly analysis, your CRM system, your processes, resources, and tools. You can influence the productivity and performance and culture of your people. And finally, you can influence your state, your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual state. And one of the best ways is start the Savers Way, which is a great acronym that Hal Elrod, who wrote The Miracle Morning, put together. Does this make sense? By the way, is this making sense? So you can absolutely get up to 10 to 90%. Depending on your level of leadership and responsibility. I've had some leaders that are spending 90% of their headspace worrying about stuff they can't do anything about. It's a good distraction, but then there's 90% more bandwidth to come up with innovative thinking and ways to grow ourselves, our people, and our business. If this is making sense, please let me know. Stephen Bailey, hey, congratulations. I heard that just before doing Mindset Mastery Monday that Jackie sold 2 houses on the weekend. How very cool. Congratulations, my friend. Give her a big squeeze for me. Is this making sense? Commitment to your goals, Real Estate Kate is saying. Falia, oh, and Athena, great, Athena. Where are you tuning in from, Athena? Great to have you here. So is this making sense? Now, I really, if you're not driving, I'd really love you to type in where has your focus been? Honestly, if you take a look, have you been focused on your concerns? Type in concerns. Have you been focused on your influence? Then type in influence. And what is something that you could do differently to actually get more energy and time in this space? Adelaide, oh, great to have you here from Adelaide. I'll be heading to Adelaide in August, actually, to do some training. Stephen's saying, no, it was 4 over the weekend. Oh, excuse me. Go, double the figure. Good on you, Stephen. Congratulations, Bailey Real Estate. That's a great result. So, one way to get up to 90% more time to reinvest back into your health, your wealth, your family, friends, your hobbies, passions, and interests, your relationship, your personal development, your career, your spirituality, your life. Shift your focus from concerns to influence. Carly Charlton, park the funk, baby. That's what you want to do. Park the funk. Park the stuff that gets in the way from you thinking clearly. And, make like Stephen Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, who just minimize the amount of thinking they do in unnecessary tasks. The reason they wear the same outfit every day is because they don't want to have to think about changing their clothes, and because they just want to actually focus on the stuff that really matters. Kim saying 4. Wow, Stephen, congrats. Congratulations, Jackie. Got your message just before I went live. Not 2, but 4 sales over the weekend. Bravo, Bailey Real Estate. Well done. All right. Now let me know, for those that stuck around and did this exercise, was that useful? What have you seen for yourself? What are you going to shift? How many hours a day, week, or a year are you spending on things that you cannot control? Simply do this exercise. White piece of paper, circle of concern, circle of influence, mind map all the things outside of your control that you spend thinking, stressing, and worrying about. Work out how many hours a day, a week, and multiply that by 48 to get 48 weeks of the year, and then mind map all the things that you can influence, and then start to look at, with those hours that are now available when you take responsibility for wasting your time, where are you going to spend it that's going to get the greatest result? So I hope you found that useful. This is Mindset Mastery Monday, free peak performance coaching to help you live the best life possible, grow yourself, your people, and your business, and have fun in the process. I hope you found today's session really useful. I would love to know if you did. Give me a thumbs up if you got something for yourself. Give me a thumbs up if you're going to actually apply this for yourself. You can have the most productive week this week just by shifting from your concern to influence. Thank you, Mindfulness Muse. Good on you. And Karen's giving me a thumbs up. Lots of love coming here through Facebook. Thank you much for tuning in, guys. Remember to join me 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday as I work through Rapid Fire Friday, which is just reflecting on what are the key coaching themes for the week. I still have lots and lots and lots of lessons to share with you from PM Reach. All of these are lessons from a 3-hour training session, which I'm just going to rapid fire tips to you, and you can just grab a couple to transform yourself and your business. Hey, George Anta, Thanks for joining. We are just about to sign off, but I love that you tuned in. Maria Findakakis, good morning, love. I will be giving you a call later this afternoon. Thanks for your call on Friday. Much love, my friends. Go well. And as always, please remember the late great words of Maya Angelou. People will forget what you did. People will forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Go and make yourself and others feel great today. Much love. Have a beautiful week, and tune in for Rapid Fire Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the best request I could make of you in exchange for this free coaching is just to tag your friends or share this if you think this would be valuable to others. Great to have your energy. Go and have an amazing week. Look after yourselves. Shine bright, and I'll see you on Friday. Much love, everyone. Ciao.